It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live, sponsored by Marco's Pizza. First Warning Live, where we focus on all things weather. Special time because we're talking about some wet snow on Friday morning. It might blow your mind if you're just not paying attention to the forecast. Was that in the forecast? Oh, we've been talking about it for days. But it's interesting. Marco's Pizza is giving away 22 pizzas this very live stream. 12 of those pizzas, although they'll be prorated monthly, will go out to one individual, and I got 10 individual pizzas that we're going to be giving away too. So I love being able to do that. Oops, my images have disappeared. I'll put that back in. But Marco's Pizza is the place to go if you want some free pizza and also a 50% off. You don't even have to be a winner. Well, you're a winner just from watching this, because what you can see is our WTKR call letters plus the number 50 will get you half off all that you order online. I'm going to announce these winners coming up at the top of the hour, but I'm very grateful that you're here. There are 6 locations that are participating in the 50% off and really the free pizza. If you redeem the pizza, you'll have to go to one of these 6 locations. But if you want to register for next go around, because you might not be listed tonight, but maybe you are, typically we do that on Thursdays, but today is a Wednesday. I'll explain my programming note for tomorrow in a moment. But the pizza for a year certificate looks like this for reasons. But Pizzoli, Magnifico, these are great items if you're looking for a half off item situation. But to satisfy your appetite, I encourage you to go to WTKR.com/Marcos. Okay, got to get to the big story, right? When we're talking about partly cloudy skies Thursday, it's very easy. You know, like in football, where you've got like an easy game this week, but the harder games the following week, and you focus too much on that, and you're not even looking at what's really in front of you. So I want to cover what's going to happen tomorrow morning. Thursday morning, it's going to be cold. Like wind chills will be in the 20s. So we'll go ahead and focus on that. High pressure is centered right over Hatteras, which, by the way, had a daily rainfall record broken yesterday. I posted that on my Facebook page. They had over 2 inches in Hatteras during the day on Tuesday. But again, this is all high pressure dominated. So we've got large scale sinking, very few clouds. So our temperatures are falling accordingly. So when we talk about clear skies, look at the wind chill forecast. This takes us to 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. It feels like 26 in Southside, 26 inland North Carolina and Virginia. It feels maybe closer to 39 for the Outer Banks. So the planner tomorrow, I want to get through tomorrow because then we can focus more on Friday. But this is what I expect. Mostly sunny to start. Then we're looking at partly cloudy skies by noontime. And if we get to 48 at lunchtime, which I suspect we will, thanks to a southwesterly wind, which will change more to the west, that's warmer than it was today. Today we hit 43. I guess I should make this a yellow. Maybe make this a little yellower. Maybe that'd be easier to read. Yeah, 43. 43 was the high temperature today, so we're going to surpass that as early as lunchtime tomorrow. And then we're up to 52 for a finishing point. Sun's down at 4:48. Hopefully, if there are any questions on Thursday, I'll be sure to let you know. And if you have any questions, let me know there. I got a note from Brenda. She noted from yesterday, it looks like this is 23 hours old. But she's saying she's loving it. Now, I don't know what she's loving. If she's loving the fact that it's going to be dry tomorrow, or was it dry today that she loved, I don't know. That's why I want to import some of the newer comments that might be coming in now. So this is what I wanted to point out. Yes, the headlines. This is the big deal. The whole enchilada is right here. Cold night ahead, lows in the 20s and 30s. We've covered that. Partly cloudy tomorrow, turning milder in the afternoon, because we'll be climbing into the upper 40s to low 50s. But the wet snow, did you say wet snow? I did. Did you say a mix? I did. And changing all to rain on Friday is all going to be fluid. The all rain situation will be Friday afternoon. But I do think we have the potential to pick up, are you ready for this? Drum roll, please. Trace to 2 inches in spots. Now, just because if you've talked to a real estate agent lately, they're going to tell you that big old location, location, location. Same is true with weather, right? Same is true with storm track, timing, and the precipitation type is going to be also fluid. So I'm going to give you my best intel, which is really going to play in a role for Friday. So I want you to stay with me. So trace the 2. How do I get there? Well, we got to take a look at the storm system, right? This low, if it jogs north or south by 25 miles, 50 miles, could change the whole game for you and your neighborhood, right? I do think this is just a liquid event for Rodanthe, for Duck, Corolla, Outer Banks. It's just a cold rain. But where this line sets up is going to be critical to determine what you experience on a Friday morning. Will there be accidents? I'm sure there will be. I'm sure it's just by the sheer fact that people either A, readily admit they don't know how to drive in snow, B, bridges and overpasses typically freeze first, and maybe there's some slick spots there, and one car starts to slide, and then all of a sudden it's a chain reaction. But this is what's going to come into the central part, Commonwealth of Virginia, and northern part of North Carolina. Let me take this full so you can see that a little more clearly, and you can see by 9 o'clock and by 11 o'clock, it's beginning to work its way where? Up to New Jersey, up to Delaware, up to Maryland, starts to pull away. So we will see a better looking Saturday, albeit mostly cloudy, but it looks primarily dry on Saturday for all the other activities. I'm thinking the Manio Christmas Parade, 10:30 in the morning, and of course we have on Saturday evening at 5:30 Virginia Beach, a Christmas Parade, and Chesapeake's at 6. That's just to name a few. So there's a lot going on, and I just want to highlight, again, we're going to announce the winners for Marco's at the top of the hour, but I want to get through this issue because there's bound to be some questions. Probably some questions right now. I haven't even loaded the comments yet. Snowfall potential, again, focused heavily west of Virginia Beach. Does that mean Virginia Beach won't get some snow? That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just showing you the data today. I suspect a trace to 2 inches will cover the entire area with the exception of the Outer Banks, which is all liquid anyway. So this is where I think there could be a little bit of massaging, where this line where you see right in here could actually come down into here. And so I'm in Elizabeth City, I got snow, you didn't. I'm just showing you the output today. All right, if you would prefer, let me show you some other output. That was the European, this is the graph model. Oh my goodness, it shows over an inch in Norfolk perhaps. Sure does. Sure does. There are different models. They have different solutions. And if you've been in a car lately, it probably dries differently if you're driving a Toyota versus whether you're driving a Cadillac or whether you're driving a Hyundai. I don't know. Some people are like, I know the difference of that. Every model has their own little differences, and this model says it's going to be a little bit further this way. So my expectation is there could be a surprise factor in Norfolk and Virginia Beach. So a trace to 2 I think is reasonable, but then once the afternoon rain arrives, it's down the drain it goes. It's going to be, so when you measure it, you better measure it as soon as it falls because it's not going to stick around. You can measure it in the moment, but it's not going to stick around very long. And I got another question here. I think the question was from our friend Luke. Luke had a question 24 hours ago. Luke had this question. And I think it's worth repeating because he's got a good point. Do you know when we're getting snow? I sure do. It's on Friday. In fact, let's go ahead and take this one step further. I'll even take this to this very specific or hyper-specific time. Snow, what to expect, Friday morning. I think it starts between 3 and 5 in the morning. I'm asleep, Aldrich. That's no good. That's not my problem. If you're up at 3 or 5 in the morning and you're out the door, it's going to probably be snowing where the snow develops. If it doesn't snow or start to snow in 3 to 5, you might not get any at all. And I think it's going to end between 9 and 11. That means we've got 6 hours to work with, maybe 7. 6 hours where the snow could come down hard in spots, and then it's done. Because what's going to happen? Yes, the potential is for a trace of 2 inches. That's my expectation. But I do think not everybody gets the snow because some of it could mix in with sleet, which is AKA ice pellets. Ding, 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 ding. You know when you're in that driving experience and the windshield suddenly gets these little clear, translucent, icy pellets? Ding, ding, ding. What is that? It's sleet. Oh, is that what you call it? It's the same thing as ice pellets. Sleet, ice pellets, same thing. And that's what we could have. Now, I did get some reports, to be fair, on Veterans Day. Some people in Larchmont reported grapple. That's snow pellets. Oh, you got full of these terms. Snow pellets, ice pellets, if you prefer. Or maybe we just call it sleet and grapple. Whatever it is, it's an ugly mess to be driving through, and all it takes is one car to have a real problem. So not everybody gets the snow, but here's the kicker. Afternoon rain washes it all down the drain. Oh, all that for that? I told you this would be a front-end loaded winter. We will have already had 0.2 on Veterans Day morning before the sun came up. And this would produce us probably 1.5 inches to 2 in some spots. And some people are like, man, I didn't expect it to be that much. It is what it is. So hopefully by now I can load in your comments and get some feedback because some of you might question this. Some of you might say, are you really sure? I need more evidence. And I'm happy to have that conversation. I'm just loading up any comments that might be here. And if there are some new ones, this would be the time to let me know. I got 9 comments. I think they're coming in now. And if those comments want to say, I want to say hi to Taj. He's on here. Great evening, my friend. It is nice and cold and clear tonight. Let's see here. Watching out for black ice. Amy, you're right. You want to watch out for black ice. But the temperatures are going to rise Friday afternoon, not only upstairs, warm air aloft, but it's also going to warm at the surface. So that's why I think it's going to support rain for the second half of Friday. So what's critical for you to realize is there's about a 6 hour, maybe 6 hour window where the snow is there, potentially. And it could snow hard. Somebody goes, oh, well, you can't make snowballs with that. Sure you can. If you start scooping it up off the cold car rooftop, social media will carry that for you. You don't have to, I don't have to say you can't get, yes, you can get some snow, but by the time you measure that at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., it's all washed away. So really depends on if you just want to stay in bed. Maybe you just say, I had enough headaches yesterday on that Tuesday rain because it was a gully washer. Yesterday morning we picked up over an inch. Some people had accents from that. You can imagine this time frame. So please make sure you know every one of these things is done with love, because I, as your first warning weather guy, I'm sitting here telling you this is when it's going to start, this is when it's going to end, this is the potential for virtually everyone except the Outer Banks. But the mixing, that's why I put that in pink. That's why not everyone's going to get the snow. And even if you get the snow, suddenly it could change over to some sleet, and then go back to snow, then go back to sleet, and then go back to rain. And you might want to go back to sleep because you go, I wish I didn't even get out of bed. That's how bad Friday morning could be. What time is it? 7:51. We're giving away some free pizza in about 9 minutes. Hang with me. Now the precipitation timeline. Boy, this is helpful. Thank you, David, for doing it. You're welcome. You're welcome. 80% chance of precipitation. That would be a mix between 6 and 9. So if you're looking at this closely, this is where the mixing will be. I said it would start between 3 and 5 a.m. It would likely end between 9 and 11, but that doesn't mean the precipitation stops. It just means that's when it's all rain, right? We get all this is going to wash it down the drain and down the sewer for the second half of Friday. So it's a very dynamic day, and any change, any what we would call a perturbation, any little bit of a nuance, a little change in the track can also affect a little bit in the timing, but because we're so close. I would challenge any forecast that's going to come out tomorrow, you'd stack it up to this on a Wednesday night. This forecast is just as good, if not better, because I put a lot of love and energy in giving you some of these numbers. The timing is very specific, and I think the trace to 2 inches, I think, is generous, given the fact that there is that surprise factor. There were more people in the Larchmont neighborhood that got about an inch, maybe a half inch to an inch on Veterans Day. They didn't expect that. I think there's going to be a surprise factor from this. Now, if you look around the days, things improve Saturday, just 10%, but mostly cloudy. 20% on Sunday, 10% Monday. So if we can get through Friday, we can get through the next 5 days, and certainly down the road. Temperature trend, normal high is 57. Normal high is 57. We'll be making a run toward 52 tomorrow. Today we hit 43, and about 46 on Friday. Again, that takes all day to get there. And 47 on Saturday. So it's not just the temperature at the surface, it's also the temperature aloft. Okay, here are the lows. 7 minutes away from pizza. Lows this morning, 36. What time was that? That was it. That was around, actually that could be current. It is current, because you know what? The low was 37 this morning. And we've dropped down to 36 in the last hour, even though the hourly report's showing 38. So our 37 this morning came at 8:30. Our high temperature today of 43 came at 11:44 a.m. So just around noontime. And some of us didn't even get out of the mid-40s, even low 40s for Virginia Beach as well. So it was a cold day, no question about that. Other comments, if you're on here, would love to say hello to you. Buzzy's on here. Buzzy's got a follow-up comment. I want to say hi to Buzzy. Buzzy has a question, maybe more of a statement comment. Says, I think we have or will have a crazy winter. So far, so good. And I'm going to double down on this cold start to 2026 when we get to the segment that I like to call the sudden stratospheric warming update, because this cold air is just getting started. It'll come in waves, much like it waves at oceanfront and the Outer Banks in the summertime. We get high tide, low tide. We're going to get some really cold air, and then it might be replaced with mild air, but it's going to keep coming back and forth. So that's what I expect to be. Okay, it's 7:54. Trivia time. Let's see who's watching. This is a great trivia question. Got to pay compliments to senior meteorologist Miles Henderson from this morning. The question is, and I'll put this on the full screen, what is the earliest in the season that Norfolk has seen temperatures in the single digits? Is it A, December, B, January, or D, or C, February. I'm losing my letters. A, December, B, January, or C, February. Which of those three solutions or choices would you like to select? I'll give you like 30 seconds more. But if you have a question or note, I got Amy Thompson on here. She's saying hello. Let's see here. Kurt White's on here. I think he's wanting to say hello. He says, let me think. He said, I don't recall catching this. He's maybe guessing. Oh, it got Patrick Kelly guessing. Patrick says it's December. December, that would have been early. Single digits. Now, I wasn't around, but I can give you a hint. Are you ready for the hint? It was back 42 years ago. Oh, yes, it was December. Patrick got it right. Patrick Kelly, way to go. The answer is 7 degrees. Back on Christmas morning. Ooh, but probably most people were opening presents, maybe in 1983. I'm guessing that was true. But that was a long time ago, 42 years ago. Special thanks to Miles for capturing that. And he will often use some of these trivia questions at noontime during our TV broadcast. It is now 7:55. I'm going to keep moving. I want to get a little bit into the cold Arctic air because when we talk about the polar vortex, understand that this cold air typically rotates counterclockwise around the globe. But when a sudden stratospheric warming event occurs, naturally occurring, it displaces the direction, it reverses it, like a reverse cha-cha now, y'all, and it comes back down. The Arctic air comes down the Great Lakes, and it can freak people out. And I've used the analogy many times before, but it's worth repeating again, simply because if you're on a paddleboard and the weather is expected to be great, what you don't expect is a motorboat to come by. You couldn't have put that in the forecast. And then it creates some waves, and suddenly this young lady is in the water because she didn't see it coming. Well, it's kind of like that with the sudden stratospheric warming events. Now, yesterday, I showed this, but actually, let me go back a couple of days. This was December 1st. Some very warm air between 6 miles and 31 miles. That's roughly the range of the stratosphere. I'm showing you a 70 millibar temperature analysis of December 1st. You can see the date or time at the bottom right, but this is roughly about 10 or 11 miles up. And when it's really warm, and it was very warm in some of these areas, I can zoom in a little bit tighter, there was even a brown spot there. So it's super warm. As we know what happens with the temperature, warm air rises, cold air sinks. So the rapid rise in warm air at 10 or 11 miles up will typically make a run and push back down for us in about a 30-day period. 30 to 40 days is usually the turnaround. But it's not unlike what we just examined here, right? If you're on a paddleboard, it could take, 30 seconds before the waves knock you off your board. So much so that you're like, I got to sit down, my dog is going to fall over, I can't handle the big waves, I'm going to sit down. So if that's the case, I think we're probably looking at roughly, on this map, around this January 1st, because 30 days from this analysis would be January 1st, maybe January 10th. So about 30 to 40 days. If you wanted to see yesterday, actually the second, yesterday, it was just as red. So there's some very warm air north of Lake Superior that wants to come down across New England, and it could very well have implications in Hampton Roads for some unusually cold air. And if you look at today's map, which I can show you here, this is December 3rd, it's doubling down. So it's not disappearing, it's showing signs of coming down. So if it's really warm up there, the cold air is going to push down. It's usually going to take about 30 to 40 days. So we'll have to wait and see. I'll talk more about that in the extended forecast, but in the meantime, it is just about 8 o'clock. Time for one more question from you or a comment, and then we're going to get to some pizza winners and a programming note in a way that you've never seen on this live stream before. So hang with me. Oh, Taj Brown is excited. I think this is a good segue. It's pizza night. Yeah, it is pizza night. And I mentioned before, I'll mention again if you're just joining us, if you don't win tonight, you still win. You win just from watching me talk about the weather. If you just use the promo code WTKR50, you can get 50% off anything that they have in their store. And I'm talking about, Pizzolis, pizza bowls, subs. They got those? Yeah, they got those. They've got crazy bread, or it's not crazy, but it's cheesy bread, desserts. They got salads, Greek salads, garden salads, wings. They even have cauliflower crust. So if you're looking for something gluten-friendly, they've got that too. And anything that you can find on their store, will give you 50% off if you use the promo code. I think that's a sweet deal, pretty sweet indeed. So keep in mind there are only 6 stores that will honor the 50% off, and there are 6 stores that will give you the free pizza. That's 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 in Chesapeake, and 1 in Norfolk. The newest one opened up back in September, I believe it was. This one over here, I believe it's right across the street or down the road from Great Bridge Middle School, and the store there, as you can see, is open, so you can check them out. But hopefully you will have discovered that location as well. All right, let me get to the big pizza winners. All ready? Let me see if I can come back on the big screen to kind of reestablish where we are. Right? I'm going to be giving away 10 individual pizzas first, and then the grand prize winner, the pizza certificate, will go to the last winner here. But the first 2, number 1 and number 2 on the screen in no particular order, Adam Hamilton. Parksley, where's that? Well, that's Accomack County, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's Accomack County. Adam Hamilton, a little bit of a drive, but I believe you're north of Onancock. If my Google Maps serve me right, Parksley. It's our first Parksley winner. But Adam, you just want a free pizza, my friend. So come down across the bridge. It's worth it. You will get yourself maybe at Norfolk. Maybe that's the closest store for you. Bernice Johnson just won a free pizza from Marco's. And please note these certificates will be mailed to you because when you registered, we got your email and your mailing address so we could send it to you. And I'm very happy that those 2 people just won some free pizza. Let's go on to number 3 and 4. That's Darlene Brown. Wow, we're Cape Charles. Way to represent the Eastern Shore, Darlene and Adam. I love it. You just won some free pizza. Now this is a topping pizza too. So it's a large free 1 topping pizza from Marco's. Emma Burtock from Virginia Beach, also a big winner tonight. Thank you, Emma. Hopefully you'll have your pizza certificate in the mail and you can redeem it at any time you want this month. Let's keep going. Number 5 is Heather McDonald in Yorktown. Congratulations to Heather. Heather just won a free pizza, 1 topping from Marco's, as has Lisa Atkinson from Suffolk. Congratulations to you. You are now a pizza winner. 1 free large pizza headed your way in a certificate form. Maria Harvey from Elizabeth City. We got the Harbor of Hospitality. We're throwing hospitality right back at you, Maria. Elizabeth City just got a free pizza in Maria Harvey. And Mariana Hoffler of Virginia Beach, also a winner tonight. Congratulations to Maria and Mariana. And also, last but not least, Martha McLam from Virginia Beach, a winner tonight. And Tom Howard from Newport News. So there they are, 10 winners, 10 large pizzas with 1 topping, certificates being mailed to you. So, you know what they say, I guess you could argue that what was it? Monday was Cyber Monday. Yesterday was Giving Tuesday. Today is why not? Why not Wednesday? Let's just give away more pizza because I think 10 winners there is just really exciting, right? Now let's go ahead and throw in some confetti. All right, the big winner for this week, the free Marco's Pizza for a year, is actually coming from Chesapeake. Our biggest winner of the week is Marvin Staton of Chesapeake. You just won free pizza for a year, my friend. And if you know Marvin, let him know. Hey, Marvin, did you know you just won some free pizza? Marvin, you got free pizza for a year. That's 1 topping, 1 large pizza every month for the next 12 months. And when you get this certificate in the mail, you can redeem your first one. Actually, get back there. You get your first one in the month of December. You could use it like a punch card right in here, and then you could get 11 more, I should say, in 2026. So very excited. Your name will be typed in here, and your certificate will come, and we'll get this all worked out for you. But I'm very thankful that we got a winner. We got a winner in Marvin, and we got 10 individual winners for free pizza. Maybe people have tried you before. Maybe some haven't tried pizza before. Switching gears, and I want to thank all those all the winners. Keep in mind, Taj is very, very, very important note, we're participating stores only. That's the key. It's not every Marco's. Marco's can be found pretty much anywhere in the country, but it's these 6 locations we talked about in the 757, the 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 in Chesapeake, 1 in Norfolk, that will redeem the free pizza as well as the 50% off pizza they're doing just for the rest of this week with the promo code WTKR. All right, so let's see here. I got a question from Snoopy. Has it ever snowed in the month of November? Well, yeah, we had some actually. We actually had it on Veterans Day. Yeah, we had some on Veterans Day. That wasn't that long ago. We had some back in 1987. The earliest snow we ever had was on Veterans Day, 1987, 0.3. And then this past Veterans Day, we got 0.2. 2025 came in the pre-dawn hours. So hopefully that answers the question. It's not unheard of, but we can get some snow any time of the year when it's cold enough. But obviously you're not going to get it in the summer, or typically not in the late spring or early autumn season. Just doesn't typically happen for sure. All right, now let me show you the upper air pattern, because again, this cold air that we're talking about will come down eventually. So we can get used to maybe some warm days at times, but it also gets replaced pretty quickly with some colder air. So this would suggest Wednesday or Thursday the 11th, you get another cold snap coming down from Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, and down toward Virginia Beach, where suddenly we start to shiver. Ooh, I got a note from Patrick Kelly. That's awesome. I don't know if he's excited. He was maybe the pizza the winners. It's awesome that they win. Congratulations to our pizza winners. Very thankful for all of you who watch and who watch on delay, because sometimes you're just like, I just want to know who won the pizza. If you didn't win pizza this go around, be sure to register for next week, because we'll still give it away next week as well. But I just kind of want to highlight the fact that it's the upper air pattern that just kind of rotates around. You get little lobes. It's almost like spokes of a wheel. And so when you get this cold air, and if you kind of do a do-si-do around the other side, there's more cold where that came from. That's my only point. So even though we're not necessarily at the dead of winter like January, February, we're going to start to see, with the help of the stratospheric warming event, I think we're going to see some really cold air in the next 30 days. Probably when we start doing this, it's back on November 18th. So by the time we get to December 18th, even the Climate Prediction Center is seeing some really cold air across New England, the Great Lakes, as early as the 10th or the 16th. So we'll get to that coming up in just a moment. Just want to remind you, before I get any further down the road, just a programming note. I did want to get this out there. A programming note. I'm doing the pizza delivery or the pizza certificates tonight because I have a very special event that I'll be participating in tomorrow. Would love to get your support. I'm going to be at Regent University for the Christmas Village. Let me show you what this looks like. This is something they're bringing back. They haven't done this since COVID. They had to put a stop to it during COVID, but they're bringing back tomorrow, and I get to participate. I'm very excited about this. I get to participate in the tree lighting aspect of the ceremony. So it's a very exciting time. We're going to be live during the 4, 4:30, 5, 5:30, 6. So during the news, TV news, you'll see all the lights come on. They'll have a live nativity. Baby Jesus will be there. Santa Claus will be there. They're both going to be, they're going to have industrial snow machines. You heard me right. Industrial snow machines. So we'll have some fake snow to get you ready for the real snow that comes in on Friday. You like how I tied those two together? Yours truly will be there. So now you're beginning to see a sign of why I didn't commit to tomorrow for the live stream, because with traffic and everything else that's going to be going on, I just figured it'd be easier for me to do the pizza tonight. So let me just give you a quick preview. Don't go anywhere, but this is really kind of for you. Hang in there.
The CPN and Regent University Christmas Village. On the Regent, experience the wonder and excitement of the season at CPN and Regent University's Christmas Village, December 4th through 6th and 11th through 13th. Visit a true German Christmas market where you can shop for unique gifts, enjoy festive foods, entertainment, a 40-foot Christmas tree, a live nativity, and free rides and attractions for the kids. The CPN and Regent University Christmas Village on the Regent University campus, 977 Centerville Turnpike in Virginia Beach. For more information, visit virginiachristmasvillage.com.
How cool is that? That is tomorrow. Tomorrow during our evening news, I believe the lights are going to be coming on just after 5 p.m., so I'm very excited about that. And if you maybe you've never been to, maybe you're new like me. I haven't been here. This will be my first Christmas Village, and if you were around before COVID, maybe you went to this special event that's going to be going on tomorrow. So I just wanted to share that with you. So a special thanks to all those at Regent University that have invited us to come. And I mentioned earlier, thank you to all the winners, and of course, Marco's our sponsor for being so generous with the pizza. Let me get back to the weather, because I know that's why you're here. Our high was 43 degrees today. That's 15 degrees colder than yesterday. Pretty cold. Yes, we've had 2 below normal days for the early month of December. I say early because we're only 3 days into it. But we had one day that was on par, 58 yesterday when it rained so much. That's a normal high for that particular day. So I got to come back on camera. So obviously my system needs a reboot, and that doesn't take but a few seconds. But does show you that this 58, obviously above normal, we're going to see a lot more below normal for December. If what I believe is true, and the sudden stratospheric warming event has an impact on the second half of December, then we're going to see reasons why a heavier coat would be a good idea to gift somebody. Make sure everybody has a warm coat this winter, because I think the comment that came in a while ago definitely says it best. Marilyn Bell is on here. She's got a note. Let me see if I can get her on the comment here. She said, I'd love a little snow here in East Tennessee. Yeah, it looks like it's going to miss in many respects, East Tennessee. Maybe some in eastern Kentucky, certainly southwest sections of Virginia near Bristol, and perhaps maybe toward the Virginia Creeper Trail. I love the Creeper Trail. They might actually get some as well. But I got Kim Thompson-Jones saying, enjoy, going to be excited about being live for 2.5 hours out there. They're going to have some hot chocolate. They're going to have all sorts of gifts and fun toys, and I'd say toys and rides for kids, live nativity, and of course the snow machine. I'm going to gravitate to that probably pretty quickly. Very excited about that. I got a note from Taj, more of a maybe. I think he's just excited as I am. Very excited about what's coming with the winners of the pizza, and as well as the Christmas Village tomorrow. All right. So as we move through. The temperature right now, it's now 8:09. I've gone a little bit long, but I had a lot of things to cover. 10 degrees colder now in Virginia Beach versus last night. If you compare apples to oranges, this is your 24-hour temperature change. Most of us are well below where we were this time last night. Right now, it's 33 in Virginia Beach. And it's 28 in Suffolk. It's 30 in Chesapeake, 39 in Kitty Hawk. You throw in some wind chills, it feels like it's pretty close to the upper 20s in Ahoskie. May not have a whole lot of wind, but it's cold enough in Gloucester to feel like it's 29. In fact, tonight's lows will be around 29 in Gloucester, 34 Cape Charles, 29 Elizabeth City. I got us down to about 31 in Norfolk, while many areas from Murfreesboro to Cortland should be in the mid-20s tomorrow. I want to show you the airport delays, even though travel's pretty much come to the busyness of Thanksgiving's behind us. But it's interesting to see, anytime I see airplanes slowing down, as I'm thinking, is this weather related? It's a 30-minute delay out of Chicago. Well, let's take a look. Here's the national scene. They're not getting a whole lot of snow at the moment in Chicago, but maybe it was from earlier in the day. Some of that snow might be now working its way through Detroit and snowing over parts of Lake Erie. We look back to the west, maybe around St. Louis. They've had a little bit of a mix in spots, and it's snowing, believe it or not, in North Texas. Just north of Amarillo, they've got some snow there, and it's snowing in parts of New Mexico, but they've got rain around the Houston area tonight. Most of that's trying to drift in toward the direction of Louisiana, but coming back home, nothing to see here at the moment. Now, temperatures right now, 33 in Hampton, 30 degrees Chesapeake, 35 Portsmouth and Norfolk, while it's 32 in Smithfield. Our friends in Hertford at 33 and Currituck currently at 35. Does it get cold? Yes, it's pretty cold. In fact, it's about the same where Marilyn Bell would be in Knoxville, East Tennessee, as it is in Richmond. They're at 34, 33 here, where the cold air, 20s, are still living in parts of West Virginia and Beckley. This cold air is so cold, I said it would be close to zero when the effects of the stratospheric warming event rolls down. They're already at 9, right? So this bulge of cold air is the real deal. And so we've already highlighted what might cause that cold air to come down in stages. And obviously when it gets to Virginia Beach, it's oftentimes it's modified. It's not going to be 9 degrees, although it was 7. To be fair to our trivia question, people got that right. We got to 7 on Christmas morning 42 years ago in 1983. That's not a 7, that's a 9, but it's pretty close. Some of this will come down in stages, and I do think this will be a front-end loaded winter. I've said it before, November, December, first 2 weeks of January. Once we get past Dr. King Day, I think we'll start to see winter maybe slow down a bit. Doesn't mean it couldn't snow in February. I just think the bulk of what we'll see will be on the front end, and that means Friday morning could be another accumulating amount. Maybe we get an inch and a half in around Norfolk. We'll have to wait and see. Future temperatures show this pouring down in the white and blue areas across the Great Lakes, and you can see the clock. These are the future temperatures at a 5,000 foot level, and so you can see it ebbs and flows, right? This one by the 13th looks like it gets warm, but then all of a sudden you look at the Climate Prediction Center and says, no, the 11th through the 17th should be colder than normal. So that's why I say it's not, just as soon as you get a warm day, it might be replaced with 2 or 3 cold days. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Clearly we're looking at the Climate Prediction Center outlook, but it does show some really cold air in the northeast, but it's still above normal across the southwest. So places like California, I keep pushing the wrong button there, California, Arizona, and the Four Corners are likely to stay well above normal. Got some other notes here. I got a note from Ambler. Ambler has a comment. I love this. It mentions the Village. The Village event is awesome. I can't wait to be on the grounds. Again, Friday is when this happens, and I mentioned some of the dates and times. If you've been here, maybe you've never been here. I did mention it was, or maybe I didn't. I'll put this back on the screen. The address is 977 Centerville Turnpike. That's 977 Centerville Turnpike in Virginia Beach. Regent University Mall. It's just a beautiful location to have this, and again, they're bringing it back after COVID, and so those are the times, about 6 to 9 Thursday and Friday, 3 to 9 on Saturday. If you want to check out their webpage, it's virginiachristmasvillage.com. So thank you, Ambler, for that reminder. Now, as we look back at the temperatures for down the road, let's get to the Eastern Shore. One thing we'll note, temperatures tomorrow, about 46 in Onancock, and about 47 in Bloxham. This is our Thursday expectation. Partly cloudy. Cape Charles will take this full screen, about 47, 46 for Exmoor. We're in the 50s, however, the further south you go, like Duck, 52. Kill Devil Hills, 52. Manio, Wanchese, about 53 on Roanoke Island. Nags Head, 52, while we should be around 54 for Hatteras, Ocracoke, and Rodanthe on Thursday. The Storm Prediction Center, I like to show these maps from travel perspectives. If you see something dark green, it usually means it's isolated. And there is a patch. Looks like that patch of dark green would be maybe around, say, maybe around Galveston, around areas in southeastern Texas where they could still get some active weather. For us, though, and for the rest of the country, it's pretty quiet. Nothing to see between now and 7 a.m. tomorrow. Thursday looks quiet, and so does Friday, so really not much to see in terms of severe weather. Let me show you this. This is probably, if you waited this long, I'm going to give you probably some of the best visuals in terms of what's coming. 11 o'clock tonight, there does appear to be some clouds, but then they go right away by the first thing tomorrow morning. So we might see a slowing of the cool process, and then it gets really cold again. Starting the wind chill in the mornings around 25, 26 at 7 a.m. Still mostly sunny at noon. Winds about 8 miles an hour. 4 o'clock, maybe a few scattered clouds. So that's kind of like the ho-hum Thursday. But now it gets more interesting, because by 11 o'clock Thursday night, we start to cloud up, and then it's game on. Ooh, looky, looky. Is that blue snow? It is. Oh, but there's a little bit of pink there on the east side of Norfolk. I know. That's why I say sometimes the coloring takes an average. Ooh, an average. That means just because it might show blue, it might underneath be mixing with rain and snow. See what I'm saying? So the color of the polygon, or the color of the precipitation on the radar, can oftentimes be misleading. That's why it's so helpful to have weather watchers, have our neighborhood weather watchers or spotters tell us what's going on, because they can give you some ground truth. But this would suggest it's rain in Duck, rain in Virginia Beach, somewhat of a mix, and then further west toward Norfolk and Franklin, we're getting some snow. And this is all at 4 o'clock in the morning. But you said it would start between 3 and 5. I know, but 4 a.m. is between 3 and 5. Now you get it, right? 4 a.m. 5 a.m. looks even stronger evidence for snow in places like the Isle of Wight. I'm looking at Smithfield. I'm looking at Williamsburg and Franklin and Wakefield. My goodness, it's even snowing on the west side of Norfolk. Maybe it's a mix right down the middle. That's like a 7-10 split, Aldrich. I know, that's why it's tricky. Anything that this changes, if the track of this storm moves 10, 20, 25 miles or more, it's going to have a bigger impact on what you get in your neighborhood. So are you out the door at 5 a.m.? I don't know. Is it better at 6? 6 looks like it's really rainy in Elizabeth City. Yeah, but what if this line comes down in like this? Because some models want to put more of the mix and rain in here. So that's a highly populated area of the Hampton Roads there. And then up toward the Eastern Shore, you got snow here. This is 6 in the morning. So I just want to emphasize this is highly dynamic. You got 6 hours of crazy weather on Friday morning. So do you think this would cause any accidents? Oh, yeah, I do. Experience tells me that if this is happening at 6 or 7 in the morning when people are trying to get to work or school in a hurry, it's like lights out, man. This is like a freak out factor. 6:30, 7, 8. Look at 8. 8 in the morning. It's still snowing in Exmoor, Williamsburg, Franklin. They might get to 2 inches. If they're outside measuring in the moment, because all that rain in Duck, all that rain in Virginia Beach and Elizabeth City, and keep in mind, this is just one solution. This is just one model's opinion of what's going to come to pass. I already put on the screen my expectation of when it's going to start, when it's going to end, how much we're going to get. I think it's a trace of 2. Now, whether the airport measures it at the moment or whether they wait later in the day and they go, we got nothing. But I think they'll probably, they'll measure it on every hour. They'll see as it comes down. But this rain will overtake and overwhelm the system. What do I mean by that? Because you said it would end between 9 and 11. There's 9. It's ended in Norfolk and anywhere near Virginia Beach. And it's pretty much by 10, it's pretty much ended in Exmoor. So between 9 and 11, it looks like it's out of here. And the rain, it continues to pick up in intensity in Elizabeth City and over toward Edenton, over toward Chowan County, Perquimans, and Pasquotank. We're still getting heavy rain in some spots. 11 o'clock, it's all long gone. So if you slept in, you missed it. It's kind of like if you slept in on Veterans Day morning, you really missed it because it was gone by sunrise. But this will happen even after the sun is up. That's midday, nothing but rain. 2 o'clock, nothing but rain. 4 o'clock, pretty much done with a few stray showers. It's now 8:19. I got to finish up, but I just wanted to show you graphically how this is likely to play out and why I expect this is going to be a very interesting morning once we move into Friday. Again, any track change, any little change or nuance from this low, if it moves a little bit further, moves a little bit further south, a south trajectory would bring more snow inland to Norfolk and Virginia Beach. So don't let your guard down. Just because today's run in Virginia Beach doesn't show a lot of snow, maybe you get an inch, inch and a half in Virginia Beach. It's all going to be predicated on that low. Does that make sense? I'm trying to just put it all out there because I'm going to be at the Christmas Village tomorrow giving you a forecast, but I won't be able to live stream as easily as I would otherwise. All right, so snowfall potential, the latest run, but again, puts the bullseye really through the heart of the Commonwealth of Virginia and northern sections of North Carolina, really focused north of Raleigh, and it does extend, at least on this model, into areas west of Norfolk. Now here's your Thursday morning expectation. Mostly sunny, upper 20s, low 30s, about 31 on the south side. I expect temperatures will be about 32 Hampton, 27 Suffolk, and about 29 in Elizabeth City. Duck about 39, Nags Head 38, and Wachapreak about 31 degrees. Thursday afternoon, however, upper 40s, low 50s more likely. 52 south side, 48 in the peninsulas, about 52 in Franklin, Windsor, Bertie County, 54, Gloucester about 49, and about 48 Matthews, 52 Corolla, as well as Nags Head. Here's your first warning, WTKR News 370 forecast, 52 tomorrow, 46 on Friday. You get through Friday morning and you put up with the cold rain Friday afternoon, you will have been through the worst of it because it looks like we're pretty smooth, I'd say pretty smooth, for outdoor events going through the next 5 days beyond that. So we're looking at 47 Saturday. Of course, we have a 10:30 in the morning Manio parade, Christmas parade, and then by Saturday evening, I think it's 5:30 is Virginia Beach, 6 o'clock is Chesapeake. So there's some opportunities to get out. I do think it's mostly cloudy though on Saturday. Got some happy shots for you. Want to cover that real quick and wrap things up. This is from Ocean Lakes North Park. Do you know where that is? North Park, Ocean Lakes. Pat took some great pictures from there. That's on our WTKR photographers group. Thank you, Pat. Also, beautiful sunset from William, Newport News. Glad to see this great picture. Again, don't know how old this was, how many days ago this might be, but it's great to see. And this is from Sandra Snyder. Capture this, the Kill Devil Hills sunrise with some high, thin cirrus clouds out there at the pier. So glad to see Sandra's pictures as well. So again, just a reminder, first warning forecast tomorrow, 52, 46, 47. We're still in the mid 40s going into Monday and Tuesday. Again, the normal high is 57. So we're still below average, and each day is just going to accumulate to a below average month. Will we get closer to Christmas? See if we can get some snow opportunities. Then we'll see. I'll keep you posted for sure. Just a reminder, make sure you get the 50% off your pizza tonight. If you're tired of turkey, you've gone through turkey sandwiches, turkey soup, and everything there is to be related to a turkey, now you can get some pizza and actually save some money. It's the best wise decision is, better than maybe a Cyber Monday deal where they only gave me 25% off on a purchase. This is a 50% off a purchase. Love it if you just use the promo code. And again, keep in mind, there's only 6 locations that will participate in that 50% off, and as well as the pizza. All right, just a reminder, thank you so much for your patience with me. I will be at the Christmas Village tomorrow. Can't wait. I'll make an artificial snowball if I can. And in the meantime, I hope everyone has a safe and exciting Thursday. In the meantime, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or serious. Every day is a gift. Every day is a gift. We'll see you here, and make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you here next week. Take care.